the office. Today we're going to
Orange County.
Orange County. Let's show you our route of flight here. Let's see, we are going to South Flow here in Seattle, so that means the Summit departure down over Bend, Oregon, and then east of Sacramento, kind of the Reno area, and then down we'll join the arrival here into Orange County. Welcome to Orange County. As planned, the computer shows us about a little bit longer than forecast due to the taxi out in Seattle. We pushed from Seattle, got in line. How many people do you think there were in front of us?
There were about 20.
About 20 airplanes in front of us, so it took us about an additional, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes on the ground there in Seattle before we were airborne. Nice smooth flight down. We did the OC2, which brings you down off the coast here of Los Angeles by Catalina Island. You stay outside of the Class Bravo for most of the approach. Join the downwind, and then a little bit of a scattered layer today, so we did the ILS to runway 20 right. We had calculated an LTP of 1,900 feet. It was planned flaps 40, 136,000 pounds, auto brakes 3. FO did an amazing landing, touchdown right on the 1,000-foot markers, and exited at Echo, taxied over here to gate 11. Quick turn and burn. You want me to get the walk around?
Yeah, it's yours.
Hey, appreciate it. All right, so we'll get you guys outside, show you the walk around with Orange County. How much flying time do you have? What's your total time?
About 16,000.
Oh my god, 16,000 hours. And you started flying when?
I started in 1990.
Wow, almost 30 years.
Yeah. I know I turned 50 this year.
Nickel.
Yeah.
So Brian talked about starting both engines. So we generally like to single engine taxi as much as we can. That's just start one motor to get going out to the runway. Just like in Seattle, we were number 20 for takeoff, so there's no reason to have both engines going and burning that much gas. So but because this is such a short taxi, we need to have a 3-minute warm up on those engines. So we'll just start both engines, get that 3-minute warm up, and then we'll blast off. You ready to go to Seattle?
I'm ready to do this thing.
He's ready. I'm going to take us there. Here we go.
Well, folks, from the flight deck, we'd like to add our welcome on board us up to Seattle. Finishing up the last of the paperwork, we'll be on our way once we're airborne. Flight time 2 hours and 17 minutes at 38,000. Last hourly weather in Seattle, partly cloudy skies. Welcome aboard.
We're going to depart off of Orange County here, out over the water, make the right-hand turn up, over Bakersfield, Lakeview, join the arrival into Seattle. Seattle's landing south, so we'll probably plan for an ILS into Seattle. Alright, so spectacular arrival into Seattle. Beautiful sunny day, stunning weather, right into gate November 12, and now we're done. Sort of. For one more. We got one more. Landed on 16 right, exited on Papa, back taxi, cross both. Got across both runways, single engine taxi in because we are
Fuel savings.
Fuel saving,
Professionals.
big. Even 45 seconds, I was reading, an operation of our size can save millions of dollars. Not to mention, let's burn less gas. That's good for everyone.
Good for everyone.
We're gonna pack up, head over to the D gates. We'll see you guys there. All right. Oh. Well, when we talk about building a nest, pilots will understand what that means. We just flew in from Orange County, switched over to this airplane, and now we kind of have to rebuild our area with our headset, our manuals, our iPad, all that stuff. So when we say we got to build our nest, that's what we're doing. Is we got to build our nest in our new home. Flight bag, got my iPad in it with all my manuals, headset. What else is in here? I got some protein shakes and glasses, travel backpack, pens, paper, all that stuff. Overnight bag, clothes and workout clothes and all that. That goes underneath the jump seat there. And then I got my backpack, which has camera gear, books, jacket stowage back here. Hat holder is there. Now we'll build our nest. We build this area up. I put my flight bag here. Headset holder. Headset. You just did the walk around. We don't always say the FOs have to do the walk around. But you know, that's a little joke, right, Brian?
That's right.
A little joke, you know, the captain will do it when it's sunny, FOs do it when it's rainy. I like to switch off every other leg and just kind of,
What's just one in a million times?
so you're saying there's a chance.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go brief the flight attendants.
All right.
All right, so let's look at our flight today. We are taking one more to Las Vegas. So we're at gate 20 here. Push out, probably taxi around the horn here. Single engine taxi again because we got a nice long taxi out to runway 16 left. Depart off the Suma departure, just like our last flight. Take it on out. It actually looks pretty smooth. Maybe a little bit of turbulence here as we get a beam San Francisco here on our way southbound, enjoying the arrival into Las Vegas. Weather in Las Vegas is real nice. View at 8,500, sunny skies, 63 degrees. I think we're ready to just about be done.
I'm ready.
Got about 8.5 hours of block in. So, padding this guy's logbook.
Push pad here, be on our way, departing Seattle to the south. Once we're airborne, flight time is 1 hour 57 minutes at 35,000 feet. We are anticipating a mostly smooth ride.
So it is 6:20. We showed today in Seattle at 6:50 a.m.
Yeah.
About 12-hour day. Total block time was
About 8 hours and 30 minutes.
8 hours and 30 minutes. It's a long day. It's a good day of flying. And we get about 10 hours to enjoy Vegas. We're back. We're the 6 a.m. departure tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a hop in the van, get to the hotel. I may go walk just a little bit, just to stretch out a little bit, and then bedtime, 4:30 a.m. wake up tomorrow. And we flew the cocktail arrival. Cocktail, Zelda, Mezcal, Zinpi, Bomb, Rome, and then that joined up with the ILS to one left. A little bit of a taxi, pretty busy night here in Las Vegas. Kind of bumpy coming in, otherwise wasn't bad. 3 minutes on the ground, single engine taxi in, and here we are. So thanks so much for flying with us today. We had a great time. This guy had a great time padding that logbook. And we will see you next time. Join us tomorrow as we go from Vegas to Seattle and then out to Chicago. Nice layover there in Chicago though.
We're gonna have a good time in Chi-Town.
Apparently this guy knows an Italian place. He knows the owner. The owner buys everything, so
Yeah, that's it.
That was the promise. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you next time. That's the hardest part. Back in Las Vegas. It was dark when we left, dark when we're starting. Alright, so I flew, let's see, Brian's flying both legs today, so I'm going to be what we used to call the PNF, pilot not flying, but they changed that verbiage several years back to pilot monitor. So I'll be doing the radios, checklists once we're airborne. A great tool that we have for that is the HUD here. Let's see if we can catch it on there. Kind of see the symbology. We have different modes once we're airborne, but it's just a way to be able to keep your eyes up and out, to be able to monitor what's going on outside as well as all your basic instrumentation inside. And that all comes from this unit here. So we have a overhead projector, shoots the image down there. You can see, like, if I get my hand up in front of it, it'll block it. So you just have to get your seat adjusted right. And then we're able to control it. Down here, you go into the menu, you see you have HGS menu. You can select that, and you can see it pre-fills in the runway length, the runway elevation, and the glide slope angle. You have different modes here. Primary is your default, then you've got IMC for approaches, VMC for visuals, and A3, that's for the A3 is what we'll use when it's really foggy, and that gives us guidance down to 400 feet visibility with an auto land coupled, otherwise 600 feet. Pretty low.
Well, folks, from the flight deck, we'd like to add our welcome on board here, buttoned up, ready to go. Flight time to Seattle today is just over 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 minutes at 36,000 feet. Should be mostly smooth flight. Last hourly weather in Seattle, forecasting clear skies right now, just under a little bit of a overcast, low overcast layer. Should be clearing out there by the time that we arrive. Welcome on board. We'll talk to you once we're airborne.
Alright, well, I know I was the pilot monitoring on that one, but fog rolled in. It was supposed to be clear, maybe just some forecast scattered fog, but by the time we picked up the weather, it was down to, I think that's lowest 600 RVR.
Yeah.
Which means if you're standing on the ground and you're looking straight ahead, you can see 600 feet. This plane, the way it's equipped and the training that we do, we're good down to 400 feet. So we flew this as an auto land A3 approach, which means that we use this heads-up guidance system, and I'm looking out right through there. All the instrumentation that we need is right in that piece of glass there, monitoring the autopilot as it does an auto land, and then once you're on the ground, turn off the autopilot, take over the controls, come to a stop.
So I just wanted to show you what this looks like to the pilot as we're flying down final. Right in the middle, that's called your flight guidance cue. That's that small circle. That's telling you where you need to go. And then the pilot controls where the big circle is. That's called your flight path vector. And so as we're coming down, we can see right below your flight guidance cue, that's your radio altitude. So we're coming through 450 feet now. We're right on speed. Our target is 144. We're right about that. We're at 146, just slightly fast. So we make some small corrections there. There's the runway edge lights where those are going to be. Now this hybrid approach that we just flew, we can take down to 30 feet. So you can see now we're coming down through about 200 feet radio altitude. Again, I'm just looking for 30 feet. There's 190, 80, 70, 60, 50. There's 30 feet, runway in sight. Power comes back to idle, and we land.
I think we both agreed that was probably about the lowest either of us have seen in actual conditions. We picked up the field about 50 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
So good to have this equipment, good to have this training. It's exciting, it's fun. I apologize to Brian that I had to do the landing, because when you let a pilot take off, you kind of want to let him land. But that's kind of the nature of what we do here. It's more important to get these people in and on their way. So we just parked at November 20 here in Seattle. We're gonna switch airplanes and head out to Chicago.
Shut down, here we come.
You can take the next leg, okay? I promise.
Until we get there.
Until we get there, then I'm gonna take the landing.
Good.
We will see you at the next airplane. Towards Chicago. Flight time today, 3 hours, 30 minutes, 33,000 feet. First officer Brian will be flying us out there today. Brian's got 25 years of flying experience. We are in good hands on our way out there to Chicago today.
So packing as an airline pilot can be a little tricky, especially when you're on reserve, because I don't necessarily always know where I'm going or have a big advance notice. And if you have a longer block of days, like 3 or 4 or 5 days, you could be in Chicago one day where it's 27 and snowing. Next day you could be in San Diego or over in Hawaii, where you need your swimsuit. So you kind of have to be ready for anything, especially in the wintertime. We're gonna walk down. There's a great little coffee shop right around the corner here, a couple blocks away. Get some coffee. They do have some pastries. If you are in the market for donuts, this is the place I would go. Just got to the airport. You ever wonder why it's called O'Hare? Why?
Lieutenant Colonel or Commander O'Hare flew one of those airplanes on the USS Enterprise during World War II.
Got our salad. All right, so we're set for food. Well, and I appreciate you asking me too. Yeah. Ugh, getting these bags in. Feel bad, I'm kind of squishing this bag. Sorry, Brian. Good enough. Time to build the nest here. And
That in a nutshell is why you can't take me anywhere.
that's why we can't have nice things. Brendan, hi.
Hey,
Pleasure. Nice to meet you. 4 hours and 5 minutes. Smooth for the first half, and then some forecast turbulence. 405.
That's really good.
Yeah, it isn't bad. So
You didn't realize who you're flying with, did you?
we're gonna cruise over there at 32,000 feet, but then we're gonna descend when it's supposed to start to get turbulent. So we'll get some pilot reports once we're airborne and see if that's out there or not. You being based here for several years, I'm gonna rely on your expertise, but we'll take it slow to make sure we know where we're going, especially if we get that runway change that we were talking about. Yeah.
Come on us anytime.
Of course,
All right,
anytime, welcome.
Okay.
So if you didn't catch that, he's a pilot for United flying the Boeing 787, just flew in from Brussels, based in Chicago, lives in Seattle. That's a long day. Flying all night long, landing here, and like he said, he'll have been up about 24 hours by the time he gets back to Seattle. So a great perk of the job, you can live anywhere, but it does add time when you choose. Like, I don't live in base, so I lose time at home with family. You live in base, which is great. So when we land, Brian will just drive home. I'll wait about 4 hours in the Seattle airport in order to catch a flight back to back home. So shall we sign off from Chicago? This is kind of the end of our 3-day trip. It was an expensive trip.
It was expensive, but
Primarily for me, from what you talked me into buying.
you're welcome.
All right.
I consider that a service.
All
Tempo
right.
service.
All right. Well, this is the pilot life. What's great about it is I didn't know this guy 3 days ago, but we have a great time. The camaraderie, the mutual respect in our profession is what makes this job fun. This is the pilot life, signing out from Chicago.